A 1 hour and 11-minute video was recently released claiming that the American Communist Party is actually a group of right-wing fascists. So let's go through this video and tally all of the lies, mistakes, and mischaracterizations. Right off the bat, they get Noah Krachevic's name completely wrong.
And Noah Krachevich
trying to explain the split between ACP and CPUSA without even mentioning the 32nd Convention and that the CPUSA is an arm of the Democratic Party.
These guys are far more well-resourced than your typical communist or self-described communist party.
No, the ACP is not more well-resourced than other left-wing parties in America. Attacking Maga Communism without citing the original article that explains what Maga Communism is. Calling a woman a misogynist for a tweet without actually trying to explain why the tweet is misogynistic. Claiming that I'm a fascist for talking to former UFC fighter Jake Shields when the entire podcast was me arguing with him about how fascism is bad and Jews don't run the world. I guess talking to people makes you a fascist now. I wonder how we're supposed to convince people not to be fascists without talking to them. And now they're calling Haz Dugin a fascist for having a conversation with Alexander Dugin simply because he is right-wing. Using old tweets that were posted before the party was even formed to attack the party's position on Canada, never engaging with the party's actual position or their historical analysis of the country. Saying Haz Dugin is a fascist instead of a Marxist-Leninist for talking about finance capital as if Vladimir Lenin doesn't mention it 85 times in his book on imperialism. Saying that the so-called Great Reset is nothing but a right-wing boogeyman as if it isn't literally on the World Economic Forum's website, and as if the World Economic Forum isn't made up of some of the most rich and powerful capitalists in the entire world. Calling the ACP adherents of Lyndon Larouche for saying that finance capital fetters industrial development. No, this isn't rooted in Lyndon Larouche, it's rooted in Marx and Lenin. Read these two passages. Including a 20-minute lecture on the life and theory of Lyndon LaRouche as if I give a shit. Oh no, he's doing the same thing with Dugin now, isn't he? Dude, I don't care. Suggesting that China isn't fighting international finance capital.
Their anti-liberalism is a fascist rather than Marxist, hence their adulation of Dugin, who most definitely is not an anti-imperialist thinker, and they mix it with this idea of the British financial cabal ruling the West, and hence their support for Russia and China.
He literally plays a clip of Dugin saying he's not a communist or a fascist, yet supposedly Dugin's such a raging fascist that Haz is a fascist for even talking to him. And Haz supposedly agrees with him on everything, even though Dugin openly rejects communism while Haz champions it.
I refuse communism and fascism.
Calling Dugin the leader of the Russian far right, which is absolutely not true and reveals a deep ignorance about Russian politics.
He is a leading intellectual of the ultra-nationalist far right.
Admonishing Haz for saying that Westerners don't understand Dugin while actively misrepresenting the philosophy of Dugin. Claiming that the ACP wants to preserve old social formations instead of moving forward to new and better ones.
But they believe that the answer is to return to older social forms.
Even though our explicit goal is to do the exact opposite, and we're often attacked for supporting technological advancements. Claiming that we don't ever advocate for class struggle. Claiming that we support class collaboration. Claiming that we don't support seizing any industrial private property when the nationalization of major industries is literally in our program. Which brings us to another mistake, judging the party based upon old tweets from Jackson Hinkle rather than the program, the Constitution, or the actual work on the ground. Oh my goodness, he's rambling about Larouche again. I literally can't do this anymore. Alleging that MAGA communists long for the post-World War II era of American history. If he read the original article on MAGA communism, he would know that it's the exact opposite. We want to point out to MAGA supporters that you can't go backwards. You can't roll back the wheel of history. You can only go forward to socialism. To a state and an economy that is actually of, by, and for the American masses, the working class. The working class is who the future belongs to. That is what the ACP believes, and if you want to join the struggle, you should go to acp.us.